Yo, what's up guys, welcome back, next match, Cross-Banlist Cup. So back at Group F, well, first time actually, we have two decks. There's only 2 years a difference between both these two, the first two. So we have Domain Monarchs, first place by the way, so North American World Championship qualifier. Again, first place, pure Domain, just, you know, luck your opponent basically from the duel. But it's going to take on a deck that, well, I was about to say it's not really relying on its extra deck. No, that's not true, it does. Looking at Tomahawk, looking at Summon Sorceress, Pre-errata by the way, looking at Firewall Dragon, also Pre-errata, shenanigans at its finest. It is, you know, super reliant on its extra deck, but it has so many cards in its main deck to, you know, shut down the, the domain lock. Dangers, for example, first of all, Bigfoot, Thunderbird are all easy outs. Maybe even, what is it called? Yeah, the Dogman? Is it Dogman, the level 7? That lowers the attacks you know you could potentially push or attack over like a tribute monster, right? So go first. This wasn't a mediocre opening hand. Well, two draws. Only one tribute was fine, even if it was Kuras. And it was Kuras, so I drew Kuras, and then one tribute again is fine, because again, Kuras can give me a couple of draws, but I already have Stormfort in hand, so a potential Stormfort Aether is there to protect the domain lock. The thing is that, again, as I mentioned before, domain lock is okay against the deck, against dangers. Again, this blocks the Azathoth play, for example, blocks Link plays, no Phoenix or whatever. So now, they do have a couple of outs, but for now, not in the hand, just yet. Snow could be one if it's discarded, and you know, you could search Grapha. Grapha, again, is an out for the domain lock. But you still need to be lucky, right? So Bro discarded, extra draw, another Bro. One set, Twin Twister is decent against Dark World because it can snipe those cards, the spells that you would rather want to set before activating them or losing them, right? Like this. Well, eventually there's 33% chance that it's one of those targets, right? Thunderbird, Bigfoot and Grapha were all outs for domain lock. So I can still go for Stormfort Aether, even though the domain lock is not there or not live. The fourth monster was definitely needed, but Thunderbird is discarded. That's fine. That's actually huge. And I think, was there actually a follow-up play? Like, imagine Thunderbird dropping, then you would have had a 3k. Is it 3k? No, Bigfoot is 3k. I forgot how many, at least how much attack. Thunderbird, 2800 I think. But I mean, you know, there a potential Curious Pay probably. So there would have been much more plays right after that. But nope, you're not lucky with the Danger Mills or Danger Reveals. And now Erebus bouncing back. What was it? The Chupacabra. I think so, level 4, again putting a domain lock, and you know, the top deck Thunderbird is not going to be enough. Ooh, we take the first one, and I could definitely agree with the people and the votes that, like, on first sight, I would definitely pick, you know, like Danger, Dark World, FTK, especially if it's going first. Like hand traps and looking at Failure, for example, is useless against the deck because of this, because of Azathoth. Again, Azathoth doesn't trigger when summoned, it will just activate as soon as it hits the field. So again, like, this is game pretty much. By the way, the deck is running like the Master Rule 4 rules, right? So you need that extra monster zone opening up by a Link monster, and that's cute. Side-decking stuff like Imperial Order to send to the graveyard off of Curious, and then, you know, Griffin could potentially reset it. Summon Sorceress could be important for the deck, is important for the deck because it searches one of your key cards for the FTK. It either searches Cannon Soldier with, you know, the tokens from Tomahawk, those are machines, or Fiends, searching Grapha, for example, or a Snow, for example, to, you know, bounce back. And yeah, one of the most broken cards ever in this game's history being Pre-errata Firewall Dragon. So just, you know, Pre-errata Firewall Dragon, whenever a monster is sent to the graveyard that's next to Firewall, either in the extra monster zone or in the zones next to it, you can just special summon a monster from hand. Now, post-errata, I think it's restricted to Cyber's monsters. But even then, it's kind of okay. But now, Pre-errata, the card is just ridiculous. And this is the OTK, or the FTK basically, because Grapha is sent to the graveyard, you know, it will trigger Firewall Pre-errata, keep reborning or special summoning the Dark World in hand, and that's, you know, basically game over, GG. So again, going first, a mediocre opening hand again because I need one tribute, but there it is, even though it's Testalos. I mean, Testalos is fine because again, free information, plus potentially discarding Allure or any of the spells. Scolding, also an omnication to protect domain lock is important. So free information, discard Dogman, I believe that's the name, right? You know, losing 1k attack until the end phase, that's fine-ish. But I didn't really want to discard the other cards. The new card here is the spell that draws, so this is beginning of the end. Nessie discard is a new spell, Bigfoot is drawn, which isn't out. Bigfoot discards itself, I think, but that gets, so again, unfortunate, right? I mean, unfortunate, okay, Bigfoot could potentially pop the domain lock, but then, like, you have those Dark World monsters in hand, they are kind of useless because again there is no Grafa in the graveyard to abuse them with. So Kuras for more draws, and I think we know the hand because of Mega Testalos. I think we know the last two cards are Dark Worlds. So that's why I went for the Aether play, and you know, they should be game, right? Also side deck to the one of Majesty's Fiend. Sadly, the deck is not running Escalation. Imagine Escalation and Majesty's Fiend during their turn. That's potentially a game winner, especially with domain lock. So double tribute summon, go for Erebus first. Bouncing back doesn't really matter because again I do have a second tribute summon ready that should go for Majesty's Fiend, and this should be enough to go for a game. 2-1 in front. Going first was super important. So game number 4, and I see my opening hand and I'm like, ah yes, the mandatory brick. 4 tributes and tenacity. Like imagine, I mean, no, I was about to say, imagine that I have a chance still of drawing a 6th card, then there might be a chance, Pantheism, stuff like that, but there's not going to be another chance, because again, you have, what is it, Landfall? No, Reaperdocus, yeah, Reaperdocus, what is it, dinosaur type of the monster it's targeting, that's a Summon Sorceress play. This eventually could search either Cannon Soldier, depending on the monsters you leave in these zones, and this is again the OTK, basically. I mean, okay, no, not yet. Yeah, there's, I think, 1 piece missing, or 2 actually. Is Grafa already in the graveyard? I think so, yeah, Grafa, I think. So you need a Dark World monster, there it is, and Curious Tutor is the last one, so Cannon Soldier will be sent to the graveyard. Problem now, Firewall already used its effect, but that's why Unicorn is there. So Unicorn, bounce back Firewall Dragon, and you can just remake it. Oh, so sick, guys, this is so sick. So get back Cannon Soldier, and the Link 1 Mermaid play also broken as hell. And this is the OTK or FTK. There is nothing I can do because I also think Azathoth hit the field, so even Veiler is useless. Imperm, imagine. So yeah, draw is obviously good against this deck. So game number 5, I go first, and this is not a great opening hand. Double Idea, double Erebus, Mystical Ref panel is okay. It copies, for example, a spell from your opponent. It gives not them the effect, or it gives me the effect of the spell cards, like Destiny Draw or Allure of Darkness or something like that. So put up Domain Lock and hope for the best. And I think I'm using the Ref panel on Allure. Again, not giving my opponent the free potential, or like here in this case, potentially banishing the second danger name in hand, the same one that is. Problem here, again, the Bigfoot. Like, this Bigfoot draw is disgusting, like we see now, because again, this opens up the domain lock, goes for Tomahawk, and this is game. This is basically game, because again, there is no interaction. You don't really, well, I mean, you could go for, what is it, Azathoth if you have the chance, but I don't think there is a chance. So Cannon Soldier is there, and yeah, beginning of the end, 4 more draws, Allure, and this is more, yeah, the Phoenix hits the field, and yeah, Firewall as well. So this is not going to bother. This was more than enough. So a super close one, but maybe a better opening hand, because like a Scolding maybe, that could have clutched it. But it is what it is. So next matchup we have Invoke Shadows. 2020 first place YCS decklist is going to take on Sword Soul Mystic Mind shenanigans. So feel free to leave your predictions. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a card like if you enjoyed the video. Riddim signing out. Peace.